Hey guys, welcome back to Tea Talks with Tolu. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to Tea Talks with Tolu, where we talk about all things lifestyle, relationships, parenting, girls chit chat. We also have an IG live every Sunday where we talk, where we're more interactive and we talk about issues. Welcome, you have found the channel. Welcome back. I actually had a different video planned for today, obviously with the situation on ground in my motherland, Nigeria. I felt it was only appropriate and necessary to lend my little voice to what's going on now. I also have a couple of diaspora friends that they read it online and it's okay, but we don't fully get the picture. So this is my only two way of trying to make sense of what's going on to people who may not fully understand, and just my own opinions. Today I also have two lovely people who are going to be joining me online. I wish they could be here with me, but thankfully technology has helped us to sort of connect. So in advance, I apologize if there are any technical issues along the way of video. We did the best we can, the best we could with what we have. So later on in the video, you're going to be meeting with my friend and my sister, and they've actually been on ground in the protest grounds in Nigeria. They've been tear gas, they've been sprayed with hot water, people around them have been attacked with machetes. Literally, they've been face to face with the whole thing, and they're just here to tell us their experience and tell us what this is about. So stay tuned, they're coming soon. It's been a very draining week, I have to be honest, which is why today, I'm sure you've never seen me looking all bright and I just thought, it's not the best of times, but I just want to do something little just to brighten up my day. What is happening in Nigeria at the moment? There are protests that have been going on for the last week, and if you go online, it's called the hashtag endsars movement, or hashtag SARS must end, SARS, SARS. What is SARS? SARS was a unit, a police unit created way back in, I think, 1992. It's an acronym. It means Special Anti-Robbery Squad. And this was created at a time when, robbery was on all high. There were so many armed robbery cases on the highway, on the road, people's houses, and they felt like there needed to be a special unit to tackle this matter, and they've been there, and then they were created. However, coming down the line now to these days, there are much less cases of armed robbery because obviously different reasons. One, people don't carry money around anymore. People don't drive around with money like they used to, so obviously that has dropped down. Robbery cases a whole lot more. This unit have now morphed into protecting the people to actually being the one attacking the people. So now the SARS are on the road because they were created for the highway to stop people, and they're given power to stop and search whoever they deemed dangerous or deemed a potential criminal. They have now decided to abuse, the majority of them now abuse this situation, abuse this power. They stop people on the road. They stop any citizen. They stop citizens on the road. They profile them, especially youths. Obviously, it's targeted at youths now. And in what they say to their defense is that they're trying to prevent cybercrime. It's known as Yahoo in Nigeria, Yahoo boys, fraudsters. And they're saying that what they're trying to do is to prevent fraudsters and prevent, cybercrime. However, you have to look at the major flaw in that, which is that you're on the highway and you're saying you're preventing cybercrime. How is that happening? How can you be fighting an online crime on the road? It's complete. It's just it doesn't make sense to start with. How they've managed to go on for this long, you know, I don't even know. But now they've become more and more dangerous as, you know, as the days and the years have gone by. They attack people, they profile them by their hair, by their looks, by how expensive they look. So the kind of car you're driving, if you have an iPhone, yes, it's that ridiculous. If you have an iPhone, if you have a laptop, you're deemed a potential fraudster. And they go to any lengths. So it's from as bad as, you know, stripping you down, you know, shaking you down for money, taking you. They actually drive people to the ATM machines, they drive people to the cash machines to withdraw everything in their account and give to them. And, you know, those are best case scenarios. They go as far as beating people up, torturing them, killing people. These are a list of the number of people that they have allegedly killed so far.
When I remember his leak, water run away my eyes. When I remember Jima, water run away my eyes. When I remember
may the souls of all the departed rest in peace. It's such a heartbreaking situation, because the fact that you could lose your life for something so minute, something so trivial, you know, and I just try and put myself in that position. Like, if I were 100%, if I were in Nigeria today, I would be profiled. People that know me know I'm very expressive with, you know, my style, my fashion look. I decided to wear my hair the way my natural hair is today, just because I just wanted to appreciate the fact that I could do this without fear. Because I can only imagine, you know, what would have happened if I were to be like this and me in Nigeria. I would have been stalked, I would have been profiled, I would have been termed, I don't know, a Yahoo girl, a prostitute, gay. I would have been termed irresponsible, you know, and for that, I would have been beaten up. Now the youths have said, no more, we are no longer taking this. And this is how the whole movement started. It started from online, it started from Twitter, where, you know, the voices were being raised, like, how long are we going to continue like this? And let's take to the streets, let's tell them enough is enough, we don't want this anymore. And I think in a way it's sort of graduated from endsars to, you know, end every form of oppression in Nigeria. I want to read it out because I want to actually state what the 5 demands are now. So if you're looking at the protest and, you know, you hear that, oh, the government has ended SARS, but they said, you know, they've been disbanded, so what else are they protesting for? These are now the 5 demands that the youths are requesting for before they get off the street. They've been on the street for 1 week under the hot sun. If you know Nigeria, it is hot. It's 40 degrees and more in some places. They've been there, come rain, come sun. People have slept on the streets. So these are the 5 demands. Immediate release of all arrested protesters, because I don't know, this sounds crazy, but people have actually been arrested for protesting against illegal arrests. You can't make this up. The irony of it. Justice for all deceased victims of police brutality and appropriate compensation for their families. There's nobody that's been to visit any of these victims' families, not even a public, you know, even if you say, which is a list you can do, is to go to these families one by one and say, we're sorry that the government failed you, we're sorry that the people who were there to protect you have in turn, you know, taken the life of your family member. They haven't done that. Third one is set up an independent body to oversee the investigation and prosecution of all reports of police misconduct. And with the new Police Act, psychological evaluations and retraining of all disbanded SARS officers before they can be redeployed. They haven't. What they've then done is to immediately start a new unit called SWAT, whatever that means. I don't even want to know what it means. And they're already redeploying most of the people in the disbanded SARS to SWAT. So it's just like, you're not hearing us, you're not listening to what we're saying, you're not listening to the complaints. We don't want these people there because you're just pouring old wine into a new bottle. It's the same thing that's going to happen because it's the same people with no training, with no evaluation you're putting in this place. Some final one, increase police salary so that they are adequately compensated for protecting the lives and property of citizens. So these are the 5 demands of the youths that are on the streets so far that are protesting, and they're saying until these 5 demands are met, they are not going to stop. I have to say, this is one of my proudest moments of being a Nigerian. I think far, and I can't think of any moment in time I have been so frustrated with the country that I have actually written it off. I've written it off. Anybody that cares to hear, I tell them Nigeria is hopeless. In the last 2 weeks though, it's been amazing. It's been amazing, you know, for the hope to be restored, to actually see the youths, to see that passion, to see people that know me closely know that if you stay long with me and we're having a conversation, I would tear clothes on top Nigeria matter. So, you know, for that I decided, you know what, there's no point, they're not going to do anything, nobody's going to change. You know, the youths are more interested in Big Brother Nigeria than actually fighting for a change in the country. But turns out they can do both. We're a multitasking generation. We can care about Big Brother and still care about the things that matter. So honestly, it's been mind-blowing. It's been amazing. It's filled me with so much hope to see people so passionate. And it's not just, you know, it's not just passion without action. It's not just sitting down and saying, you know, we were hoping for a new change. People are going out there literally in the middle of in a life and death situation. I have to tell you that, you know, protesters are still being attacked while they're fighting for police brutality. Police are still being brutal to them. They're still applying force. People are still being killed. I think about 15 people so far have been killed since the protest started. Some of them were just bystanders on the road, just in close proximity with the protest, not even protesting. And these people have been killed and they've lost their lives. And in the midst of it all, people are still going out. People that witnessed friends getting shot, getting killed, are still going out the next day to say, do you know what is dead may never die. All through the protests, there's been donations of anything you can think of. There's been surplus of food. Some people are eating more at the protest than they've ever eaten at home. Surplus of food, of drinks, of snacks, of everything to keep people going, of energy drinks. You know, people have donated ambulances. People have raised about 72 million naira towards the protest to help people, to bail people out, to, you know, support for food, to hire lawyers. You know, lawyers they've contributed, you know, they decided to do cases pro bono. It's the most amazing thing to see. I am so proud, and I really hope that it doesn't stop here. I have a feeling that it won't, because right now the youths have seen the power that they have when we come together with one voice. It starts with endsars, but it's going to go to end bad governance. It's going to go to, you know, end oppression. And I really hope and I pray that this is the birth of a new Nigeria. I really hope we get there. And now, the phone call to my 2 special people all the way from Nigeria. Hi, Sedo. Hi, Funto.
Hello.
Right, to give you a brief introduction, Sedo is my childhood friend, and Funto up there, well, we've known each other from birth. That's my one and only sister. And these two people are so passionate about Nigeria, you know, even when I am a naysayer. As I said earlier, like 50% of my fight with my sister is about Nigeria. And, you know, when I'm talking about how there's no hope and there's no this, and she's always had that voice of hope. And it's great to see that she hasn't been disappointed. I'll start with you, Sedo. What is the endsars movement about?
I think the endsars movement is more about a social justice cause than just SARS as the Special Anti-Robbery Squad.
Yeah.
The movement for me is about the emancipation of the Nigerian youth and the Nigeria as a country from the stronghold of all of our leaders who have kept us confined to a very to a space where we can't say much.
Yeah.
And when we talk, the security forces that have sworn to protect our lives and properties are used against us.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fight, this movement is very personal for me.
Okay.
Because I lost a friend to police brutality. He was actually shot because he was trying to help his friend. Not his friend, a young lady who was, a man was trying to harass a lady. He didn't know it was a police officer.
Okay.
You know how they move around.
Yeah. And even with, exactly with, you know, ordinary clothes or marked vehicles. So
yeah, it's a bit personal for me. So he came, I was like, no, don't do that to her. And that was the end, in front of a nightclub where there were a bunch of people. So it wasn't like, oh, it was a hidden place where nobody else knew what had happened.
Wow.
It was just as, so it's personal for me, and it's personal for most Nigerians. I think the endsars movement is more of the end all forms of oppression movement. Because, you know, as a Nigerian, especially as a young person in Nigeria, our landscape and our culture does not allow for you to have a voice. You speaking out is interpreted as you being rude. So this is more of we taking back our voices. That is a fight for freedom, so to say.
Aluta, continua. You just touched on the Nigerian culture, you know, being seen speaking out as rude, as disrespectful. Can you shed more light on that, on what you see is the problem with it's gone?
Times are changing.
Yeah.
The same thing. Our parents grew into a different form of modernization, different from what their parents saw. And we're at that point where we're moving forward. The silence culture has put Nigeria as much as you earn your respect.
Yep.
But then we will not be quiet.
Thank you, Sedo. And, you know, same to you, Funto. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I've always been kind of partial or sympathetic to the older generation as we know.
As I sadly know.
Whatever an elder can see from afar, where he's sitting down, a younger person will not be able to see it. It is largely true in the sense that they've lived some of these experiences, they've seen some of these things. But I think the problem is...
First of all, can I just say I don't agree with that, because, you know, age does not, to me, I feel age does not guarantee wisdom. Age, yes, age provides experience, but a 20-year-old... Sorry? I didn't hear that. Exactly. But, you know, it's a completely different reality to what they've lived. It's their experience. It doesn't necessarily apply to our lives these days. So, in that sense, I don't agree that whatever they see sitting down, we cannot see standing up. No.
The truth is, we always believe that until we get to that point, that is when we now realize that, okay, this may actually be true. I'm old at heart, so I'll be using a lot of proverbs. They say, that is, if a child can have as many clothes as an adult, you can't have as many rags as an adult.
You've not met Kanye West, that's why. Because he will cut all his clothes and tear it and turn it to rags.
My own issue is, respect culture is not a bad thing. Yes, there should be a mutual respect. If I respect you, you respect me. This respect culture is what has led many people, even the police,
Yes.
to think that every young once I stop you on the road and you are a young person, how dare you tell me you are in a home? You get?
Yeah.
How dare you tell me? How dare you sigh when I'm speaking to you? Because I say get down, you must get down. So basically, I feel there is a large, in fact, there's a huge disconnect between the older generation and the younger generation. And the problem we have right now is that neither of us is willing to bridge that gap.
If I have to explain to you that people should not kill me because of my hair, that people should not kill me because I'm wearing 30 jeans, is that, won't you feel like this is meant to be common sense? If you don't get it,
that's the problem. They also feel like this is something you should know, that it is basic human decency. Why are you locking your hair? They need to know why. The same way you don't get what they're saying is the same way they don't get what you're saying. Many of them lived through the Civil War. They lived through the military regime, so they have a very defeated mentality.
I know both of you have been on the protest grounds for, days. I see you guys. Well done anyway, by the way. Well done. I was only endsars. I was only there for a couple of hours, and I could feel, and everyone has been asking me how was it. It was electric. It was electrifying. It was what's the word? Empowering to be there. So how is it for you guys right there who are actually on ground? That what's the experience like?
Like you said, it's very electric. It's beautiful to watch because everybody, regardless of your political affiliation, your tribal, ethnicity, whatever, religion, social class, everybody is the same.
Yeah,
we're all on the same level. You sit together, you talk together, you laugh together, you cry together, you shout together, you get angry together. The streets, when this thing started in Abuja, it started with the bougiest of them. Maybe not the bougiest, the average person that most likely lives in the house, nice house.
Yeah.
Everything is not so bad, but then they understand that there are other people that would get shot.
Yeah.
Any day, anytime, for doing nothing, for just looking different.
Yeah.
We don't do. It's very inspiring to see that we all came up with one agitation, and then the fact that we're able to do that, like she said, without bothering about ethnicity. All of us are so yes, it's mostly ethnicity and religion.
Yes. Yeah.
And when they were putting that aside, the level of accountability.
Yes.
The level, Tulu, I've said this thing before. People are cleaning up after protest.
I mean, it's just, I can't even, it's amazing. And
then, for every single time, Tulu, we were tear gas, sprayed hot water. We went, we converged and told ourselves that this is just a minor inconvenience. So yeah, it's beautiful to see. We're keeping it as apolitical as possible.
Yeah, it's what next? So what next now? Where are we going from here?
I don't know if she was the original owner of the quote or not, but I love the word that we want a Nigeria where a child of a nobody and become somebody without knowing anybody. I mean, that is so important. And that is why we have so many incompetent people in power.
Yeah.
Because it's basically about So we need that. And this energy has showed me that we can achieve a lot if we can speak in one voice, the country we want. So that is what we want to fight for and push for now.
Thank you very much. And Sedo, next steps, final thoughts.
Next steps for me, I want to see that the average Nigerian is a respecter of humanity and dignity.
This has been much more enlightening, and I hope it is for everyone else who watches. I really appreciate. I know you guys have had this passion. I think I'll take this opportunity to apologize to both of you for my negativity so far, but here we are, as we said, in unity, in one accord, raising our voices towards the same cause. Thank you so much, Sedo Funto. Ladies, thank you so much once again. Thank you for bringing this perspective, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I was at a protest last weekend.
We are not scared to speak our mind again.
I was hoping there'll be something again this weekend, but you know what? I have been all week online protesting, retweeting, and I am going to put details down below in the description. Please check it. Regardless of where you are, you can contribute to this. If you cannot go physically, you can tweet, you can retweet, you can use the hashtag on Instagram, on Facebook. Don't think your voice does not matter. Every voice matters. I'm going to post links as well to donate. No amount is too small. If you're putting down £5, it's going to go a long way. If you're putting down $5, it's going to go a long way. These donations are very transparent. It's not like, oh, I'm just putting it to somewhere, I don't know where it's going. They post everything they've spent and how they've done it, so the money is very transparent. It's going towards a good cause. Thank you so much again for watching today. Next week I am going to do the video that was meant to come in today, which is a girls chit chat. Honestly, you are going to love that video, regardless of your relationship status. So far we had a mix of single ladies, married ladies, ladies in long distance relationships, ladies who married early, who married late, and we just had a broad discussion about, you know, life, about relationships. Don't forget to like this video, don't forget to comment. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. I really appreciate reading the comments. If you see, I go down and respond to every single one. So I want to know your thoughts on this movement so far. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your thoughts on the video. Please leave your comments, and if you haven't, please subscribe and click the notification bell so that you know when the next video comes through. Thank you all so much. Bye.